They call it the H100. To the untrained eye, it looks like a piece of metal and silicon, no bigger than a dinner plate. But right now, this object is more valuable than gold. It is harder to buy than weapons-grade uranium. In Silicon Valley, armored trucks are used to transport them. Venture capitalists are buying them to bribe startups. Nations are hoarding them in secret bunkers. Why? Because this single piece of hardware decides the future of artificial intelligence. Every major AI model, from ChatGPT to Gemini to military defense systems, runs through Nvidia's veins. This chip doesn't just process data, it trains intelligence. Inside massive data centers, stacked floor to ceiling in neon-lit rows, these chips run non-stop, consuming the energy of small cities to generate the intelligence of tomorrow. Whoever controls the supply of these chips controls the speed of the future. And right now, that supply is controlled by one single company. Welcome to Neon Ledger. Today, we aren't talking about a graphics card company. We are talking about the Silicon God. How did a near-bankrupt gaming company become the most important corporation on Earth? And what happens when one man holds the keys to human intelligence? To understand the monopoly, you have to go back to a Denny's diner in 1993. That is where Jensen Huang, Chris Malachowski, and Curtis Preem sketched the idea for Nvidia. At the time, the computer world was obsessed with CPUs, the central processing unit, made by Intel. The CPU is great at doing complex tasks one by one. It is a linear thinker. But Jensen had a different idea. He bet everything on the GPU, the graphics processing unit. Nvidia wasn't trying to solve math problems, they were trying to make video games look cool. They wanted to render 3D polygons for games like Quake and Doom. For a decade, they were just the gaming guys. They nearly went bankrupt. They fought brutal wars with competitors like 3DFX. But in 2006, Jensen made a decision that confused Wall Street. He released something called CUDA. He essentially opened up the GPU superpower to everyone, not just gamers. He realized that the same math used to calculate light reflecting off a sword in a video game is the exact same math used to simulate weather patterns, fold proteins to cure cancer, and eventually train neural networks. While Intel was fighting for 5% better speed on Excel spreadsheets, Nvidia was accidentally building the engine for the AI revolution. Critics often ask, why doesn't someone else just build a better chip? AMD is trying, Intel is trying, Google is building its own TPUs, but they are failing to kill Nvidia. Why? It's not about the hardware, it's about the moat. That CUDA platform launched in 2006, it is now the sticky web that traps the entire industry. Millions of developers have spent 15 years writing code specifically for Nvidia's architecture. All the libraries, all the research papers, all the AI frameworks are native to Nvidia. Moving a company from Nvidia chips to AMD chips isn't like changing brands of cereal. It's like asking a French poet to suddenly start writing in Japanese. It requires rewriting the entire foundation of your code. This is why Nvidia has gross margins that look like a luxury fashion brand, not a hardware manufacturer. When you buy an H100 chip for $30,000, the estimated cost to make it is less than $4,000. That is pure pricing power. And in 2024, that power turned Nvidia into a member of the $3 trillion club, surpassing Amazon, Google, and even Apple. But when a company becomes this powerful, it stops being a business story and starts being a war story. In October 2022, the United States government realized something terrifying. If China gets access to thousands of H100 chips, they could train AI models superior to the West. They could break encryption, optimize hypersonic missiles, and dominate cyber warfare. So the US government dropped the hammer. they banned Nvidia from selling their top-tier chips to China. Overnight, Nvidia lost one of its biggest markets. But look at the response. A black market exploded instantly. In the electronics markets of Shenzhen, H100 chips smuggled in from Singapore or Dubai started selling for double, triple the price. Jensen Huang is now walking a geopolitical tightrope. He has to appease the White House while trying not to alienate the supply chain in Taiwan. Remember, Nvidia designs the chips in California, but they are physically manufactured by TSMC in Taiwan. If China were to ever blockade Taiwan, Nvidia's stock and the entire global AI economy would go to zero overnight. This is the fragility of the Silicon God. The most powerful company in the world rests on a single island in a contested sea. So, what happens next? We are currently in the infrastructure phase of AI. It's like the railroad boom of the 1800s. Nvidia is selling the steel and the tracks. Eventually, the tracks will be built, the frantic buying will slow down. But Jensen isn't slowing down. Nvidia is already pushing the Blackwell chips, promising exponentially more power. They are moving into sovereign AI, convincing countries like Japan, Canada, and France that they need their own national AI supercomputers built on Nvidia silicon. He is no longer selling to gamers, he is selling to nations. 30 years ago, nobody wanted to buy a graphics card company. Today, the entire global economy rests on its shoulders. If Nvidia slows, AI slows. If Nvidia production lines in Taiwan stop, the tech world freezes. We have never seen a monopoly quite like this. Standard Oil controlled oil, Google controls search, but Nvidia controls the brain of the future economy. Is it dangerous for one company to hold this much power? Maybe. But as long as the world wants intelligence, they have to pay the toll to the man in the leather jacket. For Neon Ledger, I'm signing off. Subscribe to understand who really owns the future.